Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Three Not So Wise Men in 2026.
Oh my god. You guys are back. Oh my god, you left me here. I've been so in the dark for so long.
Well, yeah, we only want you
Yeah.
around for the podcast. That was so mean. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Well, yeah.
It's not like I've had a human contact in a year or anything.
Anyways, this is our first episode back after a month-long break. Like, we haven't taken a full month off of anything
Ever.
since
Yeah.
maybe like our summer of 2024.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we've been releasing stuff since summer 2024 nonstop, at least one thing every month. But just because we didn't release anything last month doesn't mean we weren't working on stuff behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. We've got some amazing things coming down the pipeline for you guys coming into 2026.
Yeah, we got big projects going into 2026, and we're super excited to share them, although we can't share them quite yet.
I bought a bear.
Krais,
Oh,
we
no,
said
we
we
did
were going to
buy Buck.
save that.
Shit, sorry. Listen, when you've been alone for as long as I have, you just forget things, okay?
Krais, what did you do with the bear?
We went to go get honey.
Okay. Anyways, so because our last episode was our New Year's episode, we did not spin the wheel. So, kicking off 2026 blindly.
Yeah.
You guys ready to figure out what we're doing this episode?
Not at all, but spin that bean footage.
What?
Man, I think we kept him down there way too long. His memory's all jacked.
Dude,
All right.
Okay, whatever. Apparently my
All right.
reference.
I'm scared. Let's just spin the wheel and get this over with.
Yep, spin the wheel.
Like a Band-Aid.
The first pitch of 2026 will be create a Pokemon gym.
Oh!
Yay!
Y'all,
I'm
hyped.
so happy.
Surprise! The Pokemon fan is excited about making a Pokemon gym.
Yeah. So, Jack, since this was one of yours, what do we mean by create a Pokemon gym?
So, for those who don't know, when you play Pokemon, most of the games you are playing to get gym badges so you can get to the Elite Four and become the champion, the most powerful Pokemon battler in the game. Pokemon gyms are known for having some sort of puzzle that was on theme with the gym that you have to work through, as well as battling other trainers who have Pokemon with themes of the gym. Themes typically being just the type, sometimes more specific, and before fighting the gym leader. So there's things like, for a bug type gym leader, you ride on these like kind of bugs and you go through these spider web like shaped poles, and you have to get on the right one to get to the right angle. For some ice type gyms, you have to skid along some ice in a certain pattern, etc. Stuff like that. Sometimes it's simply going to a different room and it's like a teleportation puzzle. And they're in various different locations. Sometimes it's normal buildings, sometimes they're mountains, sometimes they're in a volcano. Pretty much you can do whatever you want, but it is typically a puzzle on theme with the gym.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess without further ado, you guys ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's just get into this. I don't think it needs any further explanation. And we all know how we all stand with Pokemon anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. And time.
Woo! I feel good about this one, guys.
I'm chilling.
I came up with the idea right before we started like typing, and I developed it so much more than I thought I would.
Like, I didn't have a full idea when I started. I just went with it. But the more I worked on it, the more I started to love it. I'm really happy with where I'm at.
Same.
For me, I kind of don't know where or how to scale this because I feel like mine might be underdeveloped, but at the same time, I didn't feel like a whole lot really needed to be done for this one. I kind of wrapped up with like 7 minutes left, and I was just kind of chilling. Like I'd add a couple of like smaller details here and there, but I was kind of done, and I was just like, I don't know what all to actually expect of this one. So
some gyms are literally you move forward, battle someone, you move forward, you battle someone, boom, you're at the gym leader. And some of them, they built it so you can just avoid the gym trainers entirely, and you can just go straight and fight the gym leader. So,
Yeah, this one will be interesting.
Yeah. Well, want to see who goes first?
Yeah, might as well. All right. Any predictions?
I think I'm going first.
I hope you're wrong.
I think you're wrong, Krais.
I'm just excited to hear what everyone has to say, including mine. So I'm just saying, I don't have a thought or prediction.
Well, Jack, this is your baby, so you get to go first.
Hey!
Damn.
All right. Following Jack will be... Krais, you want to make a prediction?
I think it's going to be you.
You are off to a rough start for 2026 because you are actually next.
Ooh.
Dang it.
Gotta lock in, Krais. Gotta lock in.
Yep. And then I'll finish things up.
Hey, being left in the dark for a month has dulled my senses.
That's fair.
All right, then. Jack, why don't you kick things off?
All right. So, first off, this is not one that, like, originally I wanted to make one that, like, I would be the gym leader of. The more I developed it, and then I had the idea, the more I developed it, it's really not one, like, it would be cool to be the gym leader here, but it's not based on me anymore. Because I don't really have a favorite Pokemon type, particularly. I have a few that I like, but what I ended up choosing was a Dragon-type gym.
Ooh.
And I focused more on, like, the legends and myths behind dragons as inspiration for everything with this. So, it's set in... I didn't pick a region because it works in pretty much any region. It would definitely be the last gym because it is a very difficult gym, but that's the fun part, in my opinion. Well, the battles are difficult. Everything else, eh. So, it is set in a massive cave system. And the basic premise is you ride on the back of a dragon. It's just like a stone-looking dragon machine thing to reach the gym leader. On the way, you have to avoid or destroy obstacles by selecting the correct dragon's attack in the time limit. The correct one is determined by best for the type matchup. If you are wrong or you select it too slowly, you battle a gym trainer. The gym leader, Claudette, admires dragons of legend, focuses on storytelling, and because of that, along the way, you see different etchings and paintings of different dragons or dragon-like Pokemon as you go through the gym. But before you can start the gym puzzle, at the entrance, there is a guy who stops you. This is Claudette's cousin, and he forces you to take a quiz on Pokemon type matchups for various Pokemon. And this is basically just to kind of get the player in the mindset of, hey, this isn't exactly just come in with a bunch of ice beams and outrages and destroy these, or fairy type attacks and destroy these guys. And also, I think it's a fun little cute thing where like Claudette's cousins, like I'm thinking like a really young cousin, is just like, ha, you can't beat her, or if you can't beat me, you can't beat her. Just a cute little type of thing. As far as the dragon that you ride on, it is again just kind of like a stone statue on a ride, but it's modeled after Kyurem. And the attacks that you have options for, which you just walk over and select a button, the attacks are Flamethrower, Earthquake, Thunder, and Draco Meteor. And yeah, that's the basic premise. So I'm going to go in along the 4 different obstacles you meet. The first one, as you're flying along, you see a picture, and as far as picture, it's going to be like a cutout or something. Didn't really develop that. It didn't really matter. But you see an image of Aggron, and then you have the correct attack to choose would be Earthquake. You have 5 seconds to choose it. If you fail, your dragon lands, and you appear in like a normal cave type area, and you have to battle the gym trainer who has a Shelgon and an Aggron. Then, if you passed it, or after you battle them, you go up to the second obstacle. The Pokemon you see is Gyarados. The correct attack would be Thunder, and the time that you have is 4 seconds. If you battle the gym trainer, you'll appear in like a pool area in this cave. Just a little like underground pool of water. And you would fight Dragonair, and then Gyarados. The third one is an image of Baxcalibur. The correct attack would be Flamethrower, even though it is neutral towards that opponent. Of those attacks, that would be the best one to use. You have, outside Draco or Meteor. Okay, I figured out a flaw in my thing. Anyway, you have 3 seconds to do this. If you fail, you appear in like this ice cave looking area and you fight a Dragapult and a Baxcalibur. The last one. The Pokemon you see is Haxorus. The correct attack would be Draco Meteor, and the time would be 2 seconds to choose it. I chose to only give the player 2 seconds because it's the only attack that's left, and so I figured they should be able to figure that out. But if not, they will go into a smaller area over a lava pit and fight a Gabite and a Haxorus. Finally, once you're through all of that, you arrive in this hidden valley area where you can see the sun shine through for the first time. It is lush, it is beautiful, and Dragon-type Pokemon and similar-looking Pokemon roam about. It is a place free of battle where the strong can rest. The match you have takes place on a clearing atop a small hill. My idea is when you get to that area, Claudette is just hanging out with these Pokemon. You interact with her. As you walk up this hill together, she talks about this area that I just described. And finally, you battle her. She has a Dragonite, a Komodo, a Garchomp, a Kingdra, and her ace is a Hydreigon. And that, my friends, is my Dragon-type Pokemon gym.
Cool.
Nice. Austin, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I like the setting you chose for it. I really think it being underground and riding a stone dragon throughout the gym is a really cool and unique take for a gym. Definitely a really cool one to see for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good amount of Pokemon in there that I did recognize, so that was good.
Yeah. I love your gym puzzle. Very unique. I think it's really smart to be like, try to use the best attack for it, because I'm trying to think of another gym puzzle that's kind of like that, and I can't really think of anything. ? So
I think there's
honestly,
one
very
similar,
unique.
but not like this.
Yeah, there's probably one similar, but I just can't think of anything that's like this. So
Yeah.
but I think you did a very good job. Who is your gym leader again?
It'd be original character, Claudette. I spelled it
Claudette.
Claw, det.
Okay.
Like class.
Yes.
It's a
Okay.
pun.
Well, yeah, good all around.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, then, Krais, let's hear what you got.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm kind of gonna go in reverse order here of what I have written down, because I started with my gym leader and the team, and then worked on the gym puzzle, because I just wanted to work on the team first. But first of all, my gym is a steel type gym.
I almost did steel type. Oh, I'm glad I didn't.
I think that's
it's-
that's what I fit. I thought you might do rock type, but steel is also a pretty good choice for you.
It is my favorite type. It's my favorite Pokemon is a steel type. I have a lot of steel type Pokemon that I've used in many teams. I love steel type. So I wanted a steel type gym. And I also decided to do it in an actual game. So this would be in a Kalos game. This would be in like Pokemon X or Y. Kind of just redoing it. And it would be the 8th gym, taking over, what is it called? The Snow Peak gym or Snow Peak City? Yeah, something like that. So instead of the Snow Gym in the Snow City, I have a Steel type gym in a city called Iron Peak City. The area can stay the same, but I'm just like changing the name a bit. So I wanted to make the gym kind of... also, another reason why I wanted to do Steel type in Kalos is because the only Steel type specialist in Kalos is the Elite Four member, and I don't like him. He's like the one Elite Four member that I don't like because I just think he's stupid. So I did something different. So the gym puzzle for this one is a mine shaft, which is very similar to Jack's, but I swear to God I didn't know this. So I went into kind of an aesthetic of French artisans because Kalos takes place and is inspired by France, and I wanted to like reflect that in the gym itself. So I did a lot of research into like gym artisans for at the time. So it's kind of on point. So how the gym puzzle works is there are 3 chambers, that main chambers that you go through in this cave. And to get into the next chamber, you need to use a pickaxe to to break down the wall into the next chamber. However, they give you a really dinky looking pickaxe at the beginning of the gym. So you need to upgrade your pickaxe in each room. So in each room there are 3 sets of doors, and behind each one is a trainer that you can battle. And depending on who you each trainer is like based off of various artisans. So there's like there's a couple miners, but there's also like forgery apprentices, jewelers. I have a couple locksmiths in there. I just thought it would make sense because Klefki was introduced in this world, and that's a steel type Pokemon. So, anyways, so you need to battle one of the forgery apprentices to get the material that you need to upgrade your pickaxe to the next tier. And then once you find the apprentice, you get the stuff, and you can break down the wall into the next chamber. And rinse, repeat, but the battles get a little harder. But there are 3 trainers in each chamber that you can talk to. One of them has the stuff you need to upgrade your pickaxe to allow you to go into the next room. So 2 trainers of the 3 are missable, but the battles do get harder. So after going through the 3 chambers, you enter a large forgery that has anvils, a smelter, and the head blacksmith, Pokemon gym leader Jules, which is named after a famous French blacksmith back in the day, is there hammering away on some swords or whatever. So, as for Jules' team, he has 5 Pokemon, all in the level 40s because it's the 8th gym leader. Going from weakest to strongest, he has a Clank at level 41, a Ferrothorn at level 42, a Matang at level 44, an Aegislash at level 45, and an Aggron that can Mega Evolve at level 47. Because X and Y should have had more Mega Evolution battles.
Sorry. Something in my throat. Hey, yes, it should have. I need to drink some water or something. Something's in my throat.
Yeah, see, me too. I hear. So, yeah, so also Mega Aggron is my favorite. So I wanted him in there. So, yeah, that's my gym. It's kind of simple, but, I like it.
Yeah. Austin, I can go first.
Okay.
I liked that it was like a mine shaft, and your whole like theme and aesthetic made a lot of sense. Aside from the fact that it seemed a lot more like the mine shaft makes it seem a lot more like a rock or a ground type gym. So that's like my one hang up. I like what you did, like the artisans and all that. That made sense for a steel type. That's my only hang up. And then also we have had similar like mine shaft, like similar type things before. We haven't in Kalos, I don't believe. Those are the games I've played the least. But I love it. I just kind of wish that it itself took place outside of a mine shaft. Maybe it's like a roller coaster, or like basically what it is, but up in the air as opposed to. Because like I'm thinking of a few gyms. There's one in Hoenn that is a steel type, and it is essentially a mine shaft. It's elevators, but it's going up and down. But that's not really super important. I think everything else was really cool. I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. It was kind of interesting to hear that you still got some of your Minecraft playstyle in there with the mining in particular.
Yeah, I have a problem.
I also like the idea of the Mega Evolution characters. I actually did consider using some Mega Pokemon, but I'm like, I'm gonna dial it back because I know about them, but I don't know enough about them. But yeah, honestly, I'd see to get some more Mega Evolutions in there. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, I just like the general aesthetic you had. Also, I like the use of real world influences behind it. Like naming the gym leader after a French blacksmith, you said? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just like it when you bring in real world influences.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
that was a really
really
nice
good.
touch.
Yeah.
All right, I believe that goes on
Alrighty
to
then.
Austin.
Yep. We're gonna listen to an Austin Pokemon pitch.
This is gonna be interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
very
it will be. All right. Couple disclaimers before I get started. First one, I have not played an actual like a mainline Pokemon game since middle school. Like every now and then, again, I'll play Pokemon Go on my phone, which probably when we're done, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm grabbing my Switch after this.
So my background on the gameplay is a little spotty. Second thing, because my influence or my background is so spotty, this might not be good for a game as much as it would be for the anime series or whatever they decide to do, since I know they retired Ash.
Fair.
Yep.
But nonetheless, here's what I got. So the type of gym I chose was a water type gym.
Oh, awesome.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, water type Pokemon are my favorite type of Pokemon. I ran when I played through, I think I had like maybe two, either a third or a half my lineup was water types. I think I ended up doing two just because, you kind of get a disadvantage if you have too many of one type.
Yeah.
I knew this. Dang it. Oh well.
hmm The region I chose was Unova, but honestly, it can be substituted anywhere.
Yeah.
So the gym itself is an aquarium-based gym where people can watch battles on the top side and in a tunnel so they can see the Pokemon under the water.
Oh,
That's awesome.
that is awesome.
And this is kind of be like a half and half. Half of it's like inside, like where most of your like the challengers are going to be. That will be more interior based. But the final fight where the gym leader is, it's going to be more outside. It's going to look kind of like that water auditorium from Jurassic World where the Mystosaur is.
Mm-hmm.
And the audience members are going to have like it's going to be a full wraparound so everyone can see it like general arena style, but there's going to be bridges in between, and the bridges are a little influenced by Avatar Way of Water, and they're going to be the woven bridges, so they're going to have a little bounce to them.
Oh, nice.
I just think it's a nice aesthetic look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's three main sections for the gym. There's swampy areas, beach, and the high seas.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The main challenges for the gym is, and this is where I thought it would be a little spotty, is that it's going to be a little bit more parkour based. So characters are going to have to jump onto lily pads and pieces of debris
Okay.
as they move around the gym. During battles, there'll be a little moment when players will have to stabilize themselves on the platforms. It doesn't really like have big negative effects if you like your character will fall in, but it's not like you lose a turn or anything. It'd just be like a little shake up to keep you on your toes while you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is going to be a shorter pitch. I basically just down to the last little bit. So here's the Pokemon that the challengers will have. The challengers you'll face can have an Oshawott, a Krabby, a Starmie, a Tentacruel, a Croconaw, a Kingdra, a Wingull, a Celio, a Piplup, a Palpitoad, a Basculin, a Swanna, a Panpour, or a Sharkpedo. That's just all the challengers who you might come across while you're in it. And of course, it'll be random for each characters.
Mm-hmm.
And each challenger will have, so many Pokemon that they'll use.
Yeah.
For the gym leader, I named him Killian.
Okay.
And he is, what I'm thinking for this gym is it's going to be like either one of the 7th or 8th gym in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And he will have all 6 Pokemon. This would probably be the lineup on how it goes, but it'll go Frillish, Vaporeon, Blastoise, Gyarados, Caracosta, and finishing it up with Samurott, who is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically all I had. I wasn't really sure where to go with it fully, but I figured just like this general layout would be pretty good for it.
Yeah. Krais,
Jack,
you want to go first or me?
You can go first, Jack.
So I really liked it. I liked the variety, and it wasn't just some water ones is literally just like get across the water. So it was nice and refreshing. I love that you were specific with your like different inspirations. And there was one, I believe it was in Unova, the bug type leader, I forget his name. at least in one of the versions, I think you walk across webs, and I think there's parts where it like bounces.
The bug type, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's already like an established thing that this is like in the Pokemon world, which also really works that they're the bridges. I really liked it. The only thing, or I have two things, and they're very minor. One is if it's set in Unova, you had a large variety of Pokemon from all the different regions. Sometimes you want to, unless it's like a type that's very sparse with its type. In the games, they tend to focus on the region that it's in. But in water, they have the most common type is water. But that honestly doesn't really matter too much depending on the game. And then the other thing was you have a lot of starter Pokemon in there, and that works for like Samurott being the ace. But if this
I actually had reasons behind those two. Like I recognize that.
Yeah. Like Samurott being the ace makes sense. It works. But you have two starter types in there, so I wanted to see your thoughts on that.
My little headcanon, because I was like, I really like Blastoise as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my little headcanon is that the gym itself brings in attractions from all the arenas because it is an aquarium, so it's got these different areas. And Killian and I had this idea that he was kind of like a traveler. He goes and sees this stuff, and I had this idea that he went to Kanto and he got a Squirtle there and he raised it.
Okay.
That covers the Blastoise.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I had stuff, people like Piplup and some other ones for the other trainers, my idea was that because this is a big attraction that brings people from all the regions, it would be these trainers from these other regions using those Pokemon.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I love the idea of using like the starters in the gym, because it's kind of an established rule that I don't really agree with, because it's not like the starters are like the one of a kind Pokemon. They are a species, so it kind of sucks when you don't see the rest of the species out and about. I get why they're not out and about, so like the trainer has only access to one of them, but it still kind of sucks when you're trying to get the others. But that's a personal opinion. But honestly, I love the idea of an aquarium. I'm trying to think of another aquarium in the Pokemon world, and Jack, stop me if I'm wrong. I can't think of one.
There are, but we don't get to see much of one. I think there's one in Unova, in like Black 2. There is one, at least.
Yeah. But I love the idea of turning one into a gym. That is really cool. And Jack, you said it. Water type is like the most versatile type in the whole franchise. So having an aquarium just feels right because of how many water types there are. And it's nice to have like a place where all of these other water types from all these other regions can like congregate in one place. I just think that's really cool. Also, I heard you right? And the Pokemon battles are like above the aquarium tanks, right?
Yes, but because there are water types, they'll probably go in the water. That's why there would be that would be viewing spots for them to see the battle under the water for those Pokemon.
See, I think that's just really flippin' cool, and I like it.
Yeah, I think...
Thank you.
Yeah, and I see why you thought it might work better for the anime. I think you can do both with this, honestly.
Honestly, I would be all for it being both. It's just like, I don't know gameplay mechanics that well for the game, so if it works for the game, cool. If not, the anime series can do a lot of justice to it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I couldn't give a crap on if the game mechanics can hold up with it anymore, because the technology exists to make AAA games on these. It's just that Pokemon does not care about that. Anyway, hot take. Austin, for not playing a Pokemon game since middle school, this was very impressive.
This was very good. Pop off to Austin. Everyone who's in the room watching us, a round of applause just for our boy Austin.
Shucks.
Also, when did all these people get here? Should we be concerned?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about that, but I was scared to mention it.
That one keeps looking at me. I'm scared.
Okay, before Chris gets too freaked out, I just want to say, I think overall everyone had some pretty good ones today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, pretty good, solid start to 2026. But, should we see what we're going to be doing next time?
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right. Here we go. Lots of different options. What are we gonna get? Okay, this one will be interesting.
All right.
We are going to be making an Assassin's Creed game.
Yes! Yes!
Ooh. I already have ideas.
Okay. I have an idea for this one too, so I am super excited to get to that one. Lots of different choices for it.
I is so happy.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot of big stuff cooking up over there. Also, be sure to check us out on Instagram because we post a lot of great stuff there too, and you get to know when we have new episodes and new other things come out.
And we got some great things coming on all the things, so you really want to be looking on that, especially for, well, the next few months.
Yeah. Alrighty. But thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
And that was the three not so wise men. Krais Baker, Jack Green, Austin Michaelis. And a huge shout out to Louis Trotter for making our intro music. So happy trails and ta-ta for now.